Welcome to this short video where we'll be looking at the data sources for the management of life cycles for Cisco's products and solutions. This video is part of a series of videos which looks at the overall topic of lifecycle management for Cisco products. And if you haven't already, please check out the first video in this series which looks at some of the key lifestyle milestones that Cisco announces and adheres to for their products and solutions. Now, when we look at the possible different data sources for data we can access for lifecycle management, they typically fall into one of three categories: customer data, vendor data, and data from LCM Data Group. Now, customer data typically covers the current state or as-is information as defined within the customer's various OSS or BSS systems where assets are tracked. Cisco, or vendor data, covers product level attributes and lifecycle information, and LCM Data Group information itself is concerned with calculated data around risk, key performance, and key quality indicators. Now, looking more closely at the customer data sources, what we find is that often there's a rich variety of different sources of data that we can use and access to begin formulating a complete lifecycle management view for the Cisco product landscape. Sources of this data can range from operational support systems, and this might include performance management, fault management, enterprise management, along with data provided from Cisco partners and their systems as well. Another essential source of data are the configuration management databases, or CMDBs. This might include CMDBs from vendors such as ServiceNow, BMC, or HP, or indeed a combination of all those. In addition, we might find homegrown or commercial asset management systems as well that can be a good source of information. Finally, there's also the opportunity to collect data from the Cisco network devices and other Cisco products directly. Inevitably, as we tap into any of these sources of data, we find that the usual data cleansing issues of deduplication, standardization, and normalization are necessary, and we'll talk about that a little later. And also, on a go-forward basis, we like to assess which of these data sources are the most correct and most correctly reflect the current as-is state. The second source of data is from the vendor themselves, in this case Cisco, and this will include reports detailing historical purchase information. Now, Cisco also provides very powerful discovery engines as well, and these allow us to connect to actual deployed assets and collect real-time information about those assets. Cisco also provides a range of externally accessible APIs which can be used to access information about the specialized attributes of the Cisco products. And finally, Cisco makes available, as do other vendors, a range of public information which we can access directly on the vendor website or via search engines. Finally, this data is further augmented with calculated data from LCM Data Group. This includes risk carried on products and network components as it relates to the lifecycle milestones of the product themselves, how compliant the devices are based on their lifecycle state to internal policies, along with an overall assessment of the quality of the data for lifecycle management of those devices. This data is key to be able to assess, report, and visualize the risk state of your Cisco products. Now, to bring all this data together, we undertake a typical data cleansing process where we undergo quality checking, data completeness assessment, duplication, standardization, and normalization. And once we get the correct union of cleaned and deduplicated data, we end up with a complete, correct, and accurate view of all the information on the assets that you're putting under formal lifecycle management, and we also develop a framework and process for go-forward analysis as well. Thanks very much for the time to listen to this video. Be sure to tune into the next video where we'll be looking at the approaches you can take to measure risk as it relates to your Cisco network and products. Thank you for your time.